because Leenock would be waiting a long time for an opponent, so yeah, it makes sense. Anyway, regardless, we are going to be kicking off this series on Glittering Ashes LE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have a red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Team NV as its captain, funnily enough. He is Bunny.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player. He is blue, representing Afrika Freaks. It is Armani. Most fashionable player in all South Korea.
It's been so long since we were able to say
It's
that.
been so long, mate. It's been so long.
We were able to cast him.
Exactly. Oh god, we had an opportunity there. Like if technically we could have left here and I guess jumped on Rogue versus Nightmare, but mate, we will leave that to Chicken Man. He can have that series all to himself. It's fine. We can be chill here with Bunny versus Armani because we've been waiting.
Yeah. Side note, but I do appreciate how the clan tags worked out in chat. CranKy.
Beautiful.
It's I don't know, it's this odd feeling every now and then when we get to cast an event with Crank.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often, especially because, CranKy used to cast ESL Open Cup Asia. Nowadays, he only does major events. So it's very rare that we get to cast alongside Crank. It does always feel good whenever it happens.
It really does. Brings back some nostalgia.
Yeah, it does.
Years gone by.
Yeah. I can't believe it, man. His English streams were like 5 years ago.
Roughly, yeah.
5 years, mate. 5 years. Ah.
Oof.
And he still looks the same. Has not aged a single day.
Yeah, it really hasn't.
It's that Korean genes, mate. Armani.
Ah. It's the Armani jeans.
Oh god. As you do see, so far pretty standard openers from both of our players. Bunny is here across the map trying to deal whatever damage he can, but so far no cigar, mate. He doesn't get a single Ling kill, not yet, as he is going for a bit of a 2-on-1.
2-on-1, yeah.
Let's go.
Has been a little while since we saw 2-on-1 really be the go-to, but Bunny, of course, if there was any player to go back into doing 2-on-1, it would be Bunny. A very drop-heavy style, reliant a lot on being active across the map with your medevacs, with your bio.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it could work well here on a larger map like this, where counterattacks can hit a little bit slower. Meanwhile, Bunny trying to pick off that creep turner just barely could not. At the same time, Bunny just barely kept his Reaper alive.
Yeah, it's going to be really useful later on, funnily enough, to, at the very least, distract a little bit of Armani's attention.
Ooh, exactly. Meanwhile, Armani going for a very fast lair here in the main base.
Yeah, he's got that third base, but will probably be a while before he fully saturates it.
Jesus Christ.
Keeping our eyes on the gas counts right now.
Yeah. As am I, because this does tend to look like he wants to go into, I want to say Spire, but we'll see as, he actually throws down a Roach Warren behind the natural.
Huh. All right, and well, he wants to keep that hidden then.
Yeah.
So he is going to utilize his roaches. Probably going to be very aggressive with them, very active with them in a rogue-esque sort of manner. But we'll see if he can even get to that point. Roaches are going to be brilliant when it comes to defending against Marines, but they will take a while to produce.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's opting to go for roaches on a map like Glittering Ashes. I'm not gonna lie. Meanwhile, the layer has been done for a while, so a little bit mistimed here with the Roach Warren, as there we go, Guile has started, so he does want to go for a massive roach push. The big thing that we have to keep an eye on is the drone count here for Armani. He hasn't been droning for quite some time. He's focusing more on his army.
Look, he needed a second to process the fact that somebody's actually going 2-on-1 in 2021.
You say that like every other week whenever we see a 2-on-1. Like, god damn it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And every week I remind everyone, nobody goes 2-on-1.
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. As here we go, the Bioforce is coming in here, looking to hit the third base. There are a handful of roaches, but not that many, to be honest.
Yeah, combined with the Queens, there is enough to chase away the Marines, but that's really about it. Bunny can jump back and forth as he is wont to do, like a bunny.
Yeah, it's in his nature.
Really is. Roaches are looking a little bit isolated. They can't be targeted down. Here come the reinforcements though, and that will be enough for Bunny to pick up and leave. But behind all of this, he's just getting ready for his main push.
Yeah, exactly. Glyle about to finish up, +1 carapace as well. Armani has been joining up a little bit behind this, but we really are kind of, again, lacking when it comes to not just the drones, but also the fourth base.
Yeah. I guess that's one of the big advantages of going for the 2-on-1 here. You can really try to contain your opponent for as long as possible.
Yeah, and again, maybe I'm saying fourth base a little bit too early because it would make a lot more sense when we have Ling Bane when Larva is so much more scarce. But I guess you could stay on three hatcheries a little bit longer going for Roach Ravager because again, like it doesn't take anywhere near as much Larva to work with.
It really doesn't. That's a trade-off with how supply and efficient roaches can get. But I'm just looking at Bunny's army count right now, and in particular his tank count getting higher and higher. This is exactly what you want versus roaches in particular. Yeah. Marauders are starting to be produced as well, so if Armani doesn't do something drastic, then I feel like Bunny's just going to come in with a massive 1-1 timing.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, and I'm still worried about the lack of the fourth base, but the Bio Army comes in, again picking up whatever he can, gets the drone, but only one for the time being, and he is going straight into an infestation pit.
Speaking of something drastic...
Yeah, I guess it looks like he wants to pull a bit of a Miyamika here and go into infestors.
Yeah, fungals with corrosive vials can be devastating against Bio. Really just neutralizing the stem, so to speak, and preventing any kind of splitting. But we'll see if he can actually land those fungals, right?
Yeah, I'm just...
It's going to take a long time for Infestus to have energy.
Definitely. Okay, here we go. Now we see where his path of transition is going to be. I was like, yo, we've seen a lot of players go like Roach Ravager into Ling Bane, but we haven't seen any Bailey Nest or any kind of melee upgrades. It looks like he actually wants to go into Hydras and eventually Lurkers. I mean, this does kind of lead well with the upgrades that we have been working with, but at the same time, like, Armani's having a hard time expanding, man. Base!
I feel like this has kind of been... Oh, that was a kill on that fourth base and not a cancel. I feel like that's kind of been the story of this game in particular, right? Armani wants to do a lot of different things, but Bunny has never allowed him to get enough resources to get there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh god, Bunny. Sorry, Armani is really struggling right now. Like, he just cannot get another base up. We have another cancel here. I say another cancel. The first one was a kill, which is devastating. And he's been stuck on 3 bases for so long, mate. We already have the fourth base almost done for Bunny.
And that's the exact last scenario you want to be in. As a Zerg player, right, the only thing worse than your Terran opponent getting a fourth base quicker than you is your Protoss opponent getting a fourth base quicker than you.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit...
Neither of them are ideal.
And I'm a little bit shocked at a couple of things right now. Is that, one, we have Hydras on the way. We still don't have a Lurker Den. Oh, a couple of Biles do connect on the medevacs. But yeah, like, I mean, he started the Hydra range before Lurker Den. We have Vipers coming out as well, which is crazy to me. Like, Lurkers are a great way to get back into this because, again, you can slow things down, be a little bit more defensive, wait for the Terran player to push into you and slowly expand, right? But no, we have nothing of the sort here.
Does Armani really want to go Hydra Roach? Nope, he's going to Greater Spire. Okay.
He's going into
so eventually he's going to go into Brute Lords, but again, it's a transition that takes so much time.
It does take a lot of time. He doesn't have any Corruptors, and Maid Bunny is not going to give him that time. Time's on the other side of the bracket, mate, as the Bio Army is going to be able to push through these rocks, go all the way across the map. And what is it to defend? There's no Infestors for Fungals, there's no Bailings, there's no Lurkers, there's no splash damage at all. It's just Roach Hydra.
I mean, Corrosive Vial is splash damage, right? Haha. Apparently not if they don't land.
Ah, God. I just don't see Armani holding this with what he has. I mean, the one thing that he has going for him, Vipers, they have full energy right now. Blinding Clouds can be amazing.
It really can. On top of all these tanks, it really takes out a lot of the firepower from Bunny's army, but he's still got a massive bio army with 2-2.
Yeah, and Armani's making more roaches behind this. I mean, it's understandable. He needs army right now to try and survive. We'll see if he can, though, because, again, there's nothing to stopping the tanks. Immediately, Armani, he just gives up the 4th base. The 4th base is going to die for the 2nd time. Armani, he's trying to contest against it, but he cannot.
Yeah, it seems like this is a bit of a run by over on Bunny's side of the map, but I don't think it matters too much. Beautiful Blinding Clouds on a ton of these tanks, but there's still a couple more in the back line. The Blinding Clouds are about to run out, and Bunny still stands strong. The tanks have not been taken out. He can just reinforce these with even more bio.
Mate, 3 of these tanks were not a part of the fight at all, and they weren't even necessary. I was like, yo, there were actually double Blinding Clouds in that. So again, it was like kind of like chain Blinding Clouds to keep them disabled, and even then it wasn't enough. The 4th base died. We have kind of a backup 4th on the way. As you were saying, there was a roach run by, but it did nothing. It was cleaned up. He got like 5 SCVs, and that's it.
I think that's the important part of what you said just now, right? There is a backup 4th, but it's still on the way.
Yeah.
There's no larva there. Armani's really hurting for production right now. He can't really get many reinforcements. Speaking of reinforcements, Bunny has 12 tanks.
He does have 12 tanks, but you know what? Now we have another decent run by. Maybe that can do a lot of damage, but the problem is that, again, the problem is in Armani's face right now. Another decent amount of Blinding Clouds do cover a lot of these tanks, but it runs out.
That was just about half of the tanks, yeah. There's still plenty more where that came from. Armani trying to rush for it with his roaches, and he is able to take out a lot of tanks. I feel like that's better for Buddy, though, because now he still has a lot of tanks, but now he has more room for bio, which is something he was a little bit lacking in.
What I will say is that, I mean, this run by, 17 SCVs just died. Like, Bunny, his economy is kind of in shambles right now. So that was a great counterattack, great move by Armani, but the problem is that he still hasn't dealt with the problem in front of him. He's trying to deal with these tanks. Decent Blinding Clouds once again, but he moves within range of more tanks. Oh, can he clean this up? Maybe he can.
I think so. Bunny gave up his tank buffer. Didn't have any bio in position here.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it's all said and done, Bunny still has 4 tanks, so he just needs to get them in position, siege them up.
And this 3rd base is so incredibly low. It looks like it's almost being focused down. The tanks do siege up as well. Armani does not have enough to protect this. The 3rd base will fall. Oh, one more puppy. He transfuses to keep it alive.
Oh. Thankfully, the last second there. Good Blinding Cloud on one of
the
tanks. I think he missed the tank. Luckily enough. It does get yoinked and it does get taken out, but it is not going to be enough. GG. Buddy takes that game. Really good use of being active with bio and Medivacs. A really good example of that, I should say.
Yeah, GG. Well played. Congratulations to Bunny for taking game number 1. Meanwhile... hold on. I need to join the lobby. I need to...
Oh, what?
I need to... I'm not in there. Let me in. Oh, thank God.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit concerned.
Yeah.
Oh God. But God, what was I gonna say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of things. One, I know what the hell Armani was doing.
Yeah, Roach, Ravager, Hydra,
if you,
Greater Spire.
If you could tell from the tone of our cast and what we were saying, it was like what Armani was doing was making no sense, and it had no right to work, which is why it didn't work. He went into a very fast lair, into roaches, not into a roach push, into an incredibly late 4th base, and because it was so late, he couldn't get it. And then he was being so greedy when it comes to going for the Greater Spire. Like, that was so incredibly greedy, and it's such an awkward transition. Like, a Lurker Den is so much more natural with what he already had to work with.
Yeah, part of me wants to say that, Armani didn't go for that roach timing because Bunny went for the 2-on-1, was being very active with his drops, but that still doesn't explain the Greater Spire that early on. That still doesn't explain why he didn't go for a Lurker Den and what have you. It's a bit strange, but you know what? That's why he's trendy. Regardless, we are going to be continuing our series here on 2,000 Atmospheres, LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is going to be captaining Team NV. Should fear him for... I don't remember the quote from Monty Python anymore. Never mind. He is Bunny.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the blue Zurich player himself representing Africa Freaks. It is Armani.
Actually, just kind of... It just suddenly hit me that Armani is one of the few players left on Africa Freaks. It's him and Trap. TY's gone to the military.
What I was gonna say is, fun fact: Africa Freaks actually picked up a new player today.
Oh, I did not hear about that yet.
Yeah, they picked up Alive, since Alive is back from the military.
Oh, that's actually, I'm into that.
Yeah.
I think Alive was on Africa Freaks like just before he went to the military too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So
all right.
Shout out to Alive, as he did return to StarCraft from the military. I don't think he's actually played in anything, by the way. Like he made an announcement.
He's played some ESL Open Cups.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay,
he signed up yesterday.
Oh,
I remember.
Okay.
Correctly.
Unfortunately, we just didn't get to cast him. But yeah, like he did return a couple of weeks ago from the military, so it's great to see him competing again and great to see him on a new team.
New team, quote unquote. It's the team he was in when he left for the military.
It's great to see him, on a team again, I guess is what I should say.
Yeah. Still, it shows that he's still serious and he still wants to compete.
Exactly.
I mean, that's basically the final nail in the coffin. I feel like I bring this up a lot, but Ryung came back from the military. I was like, guys, I'm not going to compete, I'm just going to have fun at the game. And then all of a sudden he's in Team GP and he's like, well, now I have to compete.
And he's pretty good. Obviously, unfortunately, he did get knocked out of this qualifier, but again, he had a pretty nice series against Nightmare earlier today. Meanwhile, we are here in this TVZ, and once again, 2-on-1 from Bunny.
Yeah, it worked out really well for him in game number 1, so might as well bring it back in game number 2. I feel like Scaro96 in chat brings up a really good point. 2-on-1 has always been strong, right? It's not like it's been nerfed or anything, and it's not like the maps put 2-on-1 at a disadvantage. It's just that it's been in the meta for so long that basically every Zerg player knows how to counter it now.
Not Armani.
Well, I feel like Armani knows, he just refuses. Dude, he just refuses. He's like, nope.
I'm still hung up on game 1. Game 1 was an anomaly. It's a game that I've never seen a ZvT like that in modern Legacy of the Void. Like, you don't see Roach Hydra. Last time I saw someone try and go Roach Hydra and wasn't trying to meme was like in Heart of the Swarm. Like, Roach Hydra is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And for Armani to try and make that work, it was... we'll see if that's indicative of something, right?
Well,
like, is he just uncomfortable with this matchup? I know, to be fair, a lot of Zerg players have been struggling against Terran recently. Is that part of it? Is he trying to have a different approach to this matchup? I don't know.
You know what? I can dig it, if that's the case. Always a trendsetter. That's why it's always so exciting to watch Armani.
Yeah, he's trying something different. But here in game number 2, on a more played out map, he's doing more of the same, as he does this time go for a Bailey Nest.
Thankfully. Has Armani actually scouted 2-on-1 coming his way? I think he did.
Yeah, quickly checking. He hasn't, but I mean, he's aware of the lack of Hellions, and if there are no Hellions, then it's got to be a 2-1-1.
Yeah. Got to be anticipating that. So yeah, Bailey Nest is sort of the natural evolution for Zerg here. You want to get as many lings out early on, so that by the time the Marines do land and by the time the Marines get into position, they can't actually get any damage done. Just want to try to force the Marines to stay in the medevacs as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, the Marines, they do boost into the main base, but the lings are here to respond. They're trying to get a queen, and they get a queen! Oh no, mate.
Yeah, get a queen, but they do get surrounded. Not for long, though. Wow, I really underestimated the power of Stim Marines here, but man with gun.
Yeah, without banelings and without more than just 2 queens, and to be fair, it was only 1 queen. These Marines, honestly, they could have kept going. They could have, they could have gotten even more damage, and what they already got was insane.
Yeah, as a Zerg player, you want to keep the Marines in the medevac as long as possible, because if you don't, well, you get Armani'd, or you get bunnied, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bunny shows you what happens if those Marines are actually able to land.
Oh,
he just doesn't stop!
And the problem is that there are no banelings, even though we have a baneling nest, like, there are no banelings whatsoever. And with these reinforcements, ooh, very nice snipe there by Armani. He does take out one of these medevacs. Thankfully, because of that, it's going to be a little bit easier to deal with this. But again, so much more damage is being done. Oh, no.
And it's such a good choke point to utilize as well. Another queen goes down. 8 drones go down. I didn't even realize that. And potentially more again. Armani just cannot get us around. The queen's targeting down the medevacs is a good move in general, but it also means that the Marines just get more shots in.
Yeah, again, the positioning of Bunny both times were absolutely insane. The Widowmine is going to reset. Oh my god, it's going to scuttle in. He's waddling in.
Yeah, it's cloaked. There's an armory. It's cloaked. It's cloaked.
Oh, he's chasing the drones.
No! He wants to.
Oh my god.
He's retargeting.
Yeah, he was retargeting. He gets larva. He's happy with that. Oh my god.
And now he's trying to move away from the spore crawler range. Jeez. It burrows again, by the way.
Yeah. Oh my god. The medevacs is still here as well. Behind all of this, Bunny, he takes a 3rd base. And he is safe to take a 3rd base because so many Lings have died this game. I'm afraid to look, but I will open up the units lost tab. 65 Lings died this game. Look at the resources lost. It's insane.
65 Lings, 10 drones, 2 queens, all before the 10-minute mark. Absolutely fantastic opening from Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. If you're wondering like how he was able to snowball so hard, is that again the lack of queens. He had the queens, but he didn't move them from his 3rd base into his main base to help ward away those medevacs. Because once those medevacs start getting low, I mean, you know, as a Terran player as well as anyone, that is when the Terran player needs to get out of there instead of like abandoning his Marines. Unfortunately, with the lack of anti-air, like Bunny just went crazy.
I feel like I know that, but I haven't internalized that. So.
Like, really?
I wish
I just said him forget it, me. I just
yeah, exactly. You mean I have to pay attention and move my move my Marines away from queens? What do you mean queens and Lings around is enough to take out the the bio?
Meanwhile, here we go, another drop. Meanwhile, oh my god, the Widowmines, they got more shots off. Man.
Yeah, detection came in just at the last second, but there was nothing really clear. Those Widowmines, the queens, were drawn out of position because of the medevacs.
Exactly, we have 2 more Widowmines here getting ready to scuttle in once again. Another double drop towards the 4th base. At the same time, the main drop comes into the 3rd. Sorry, the main. It does finally get cleaned up, but look how many workers have gone down! And more!
I think it's going from bad to worse. 27 in about the blink of an eye. We're at 67 SCVs versus 48 workers. Armani is catching up. He's utilizing all of his larva to catch back up in the worker count, but you don't want that to happen at this stage of the game as a Zerg player, do you?
No, you really do not. The aggression just doesn't end here for Bunny, and Armani is really struggling to keep up. He's down in the workers. I mean, he barely has any creep shred whatsoever, just barely connecting all of his bases, and this man is going Ling Bane Hydra right now. Oh god, I mean, this can really get into its stride once we get lurkers up and running, but at the moment, he's struggling to defend.
Yeah, but maybe he can consolidate some forces again to push. I feel like the push is probably the least of your concerns, though, once you have these Widowmine drops decimating your mineral lines. Another 6 drones, just like so.
Exactly, 6 drones go down. The thing is that, like, you be 6 drones for 4 Widowmines, is that worth it? Well, I mean, Bunny can afford to make those Widowmines, and Armani is struggling to rebuild his drones.
Exactly. It's finally on a bit more of an acceptable or suitable drone count at this stage of ZvT, I suppose, but because of how much larva he had to spend on that, look at how lacking he is in the army supply. Look at all these Widowmines, man.
Look at this trail of death coming towards Armani. Jesus Christ. Armani was struggling to deal with all the harassment. Now here comes the first big push. Bunny is up 40 supply right now. Jesus Christ. And Armani was supplied. Look, he just made 8 overlords.
That sounds like about the final nail in the coffin. Even utilizing the KD8 charge just to pull a couple of these banelings out of position. Decent splits from Armani, I gotta say, but at the end of the day, he's lost all of his lings. He's trying to move in with his banelings, but he doesn't have a buffer for them at all.
No, he does not. The banelings get taken out one after the other. There are no more lings remaining. The target fire is pretty good, but I believe the majority of the Widowmines have already been taken out.
They have. There's just about one Widowmine left in position here, and it's not even borrowed yet. It's something about Bunny, man. He's got Marauders, but he's keeping them in the back.
Yeah.
He just wants to play with fire.
No fear, mate. No fear. And to be fair, there is nothing to fear. The rally, the reinforcements are headed towards the third base of Armani. Armani, he's being spread so thin, trying to defend on both angles at once. And now all the queens are going to go down.
Absolutely beautiful here. Armani has a nice arc, but it cannot match the stint bio of Bunny. GG is called, and Bunny will advance to a qualifying match. Really living up to his reputation there as the, arguably the most drop-heavy Terran player out there. Not just in Korea, but the entire world. And mate, I am all for it, personally. It's like... Let me bring this up a lot, but that was straight up a game where I look at it and I'm like, I wish I could play this style. This is how I wish I could play. I want to play, I should say.
It's one of those things where it was a combination of Bunny executing it very well, but also Armani just really struggling on his end, you know, not having the best engagements, not having the best control of his overall army that he had at his disposal. Oh god, that was rough to watch, especially game one. Let's be real, like,
oh, definitely.
It felt like almost scatterbrained there from Armani, but oh god, like he couldn't necessarily focus on one thing at a time. And with that, Bunny took full advantage of that. He moves on. He is now in a qualifying match.